everybody, and I hope you can hear us okay because I changed the sound slightly. I don't think it's going to make any difference, but I added an extra microphone on here. It's more of an experiment, so let me know if you hear anything different. I don't think you will. As long as you can hear us, that's all that matters. So, hello Laura, hello Donna, hi Patsy, hi Jan, hi Barb, hi Fidel. Fidel, you're right on time today. I humor myself. But welcome everybody. And hello Kathleen. And I'm trusting, so someone let me know. Fidel, can you hear us okay? Just let us know here before we get started. So, okay, Suzanne says yep. Laura says yep. Okay, that's great. Never mind, Fidel. You're too slow. Poor Fidel. Pick on Fidel. So, anyways, well, let's get started. Hi, Marilyn. So, Walter does have something to show you. He's been working on something. Yes, he has.
Well, yesterday when I was doing sew day, I didn't really feel like working on my shorts, which I know are
So don't ask him about his shorts.
So I had a bunch of shirts cut out already to get started. So I started working on the fronts of a couple of the shirts. Actually, I had 4 shirts actually, and I got 2 of them with pockets on right now. So I just figure I get all the hard stuff done first, and then I'll just whip and finish the rest of it.
Well, you do. You figure that, do you?
So
Okay.
I've got this one front done with the pocket on. The pocket's on.
Is it an invisible pocket?
Yeah, it's sort of. There's the hole there.
Oh,
so,
good match job.
Yeah.
You can never see that. You don't see it at all.
Yeah, it's pretty good.
Yeah.
And then it's actually a different shade of color than this this shirt. That's the black version of this shirt. So I did it too. So
ooh, find the pocket.
And
Play find the pocket
too.
Ooh, disappears. Oh, I like that. That'll look stunning on me.
So it's actually the same pattern as this shirt, only it's black instead of blue. So
well, seeing as you already have a blue one.
Yeah. So that's so far. It just takes me a little while to get the pockets matched up. I don't know. But I figure if I start doing one and get the hang of doing the pocket, which I started getting the hang of doing the pocket yesterday.
No.
The second one was faster, so if I've got 2 other fronts to do, I'll just finish it.
Oh, so you just do assembly line. So you're creating your own sweatshop, and you're the little person that's working for it. So let's see, who did we miss while we were talking here? Hi, Jennifer. Hi, Marlene. Hi, Glenna. Hi, Dana. Hi, Jeannie. Hi, Jeannie, number 2. Or Jenny.
Fidel, for the shirts I'm making, I usually try and have at least 2.5 meters. There's if you do the pocket match, you tend to waste some fabric. So,
Kathleen says she used to make matching Daddy and Me shirts for the boys. Yeah. Why is it that people like to do that? With kids, they like to make matching outfits for their kids, especially, if they have twins or if they have a couple of kids that are fairly close in age and that. You always see that. You see little girls in pictures dressed up like their mother, kind of the same kind of outfit.
Fidel, it also depends on how wide your fabric is. If you're using quilting cotton, which is 40 or 45 inches wide.
Well, 42 to 44.
Yeah, then you need about 2.5 meters. You can get away with less if you use regular sewing fabric, which is often 60 inches wide.
Hello, M. Hello, Jan. I don't think I said hello to you. I hope I haven't missed anybody. I think I got everybody so far that's on here. If I've missed you, then just a blanket hello to everybody out there. My name is Jeannie, rhymes with Minnie. Oh, Jenny. Minnie. No, Minnie, Ginny. Ginny. Like Jeannie? Jenny?
No, Ginny. Like the bottle of rum, bottle of gin with an I at the end. Ginny.
Ginny.
Mini mice.
Minnie, Ginny. I'm calling you Gladys. So I always told the kids at school, if I couldn't pronounce their name or get it right, they became Gladys or Frank, whichever. So I had a whole classroom full of Jenny's and or Gladys's and Frank's for a while. Hi, Jules. So anyways, sorry if I butcher names, but well, at least I can't see you sticking your tongue out at me when I do that. Yeah, she says, yeah, Jin.
Or the I sound like an idiot.
Or what?
Idiot quilter.
What about it?
Well, that's how you say the I in there too.
Yeah, what you're saying is I put the I in idiot?
No, instead of Jeannie. You were calling her Jeannie. It's
yeah,
Jenny.
Okay, fine. Like Cotton Jenny. Okay, that makes sense to me, Laura. Okay, like Cotton Jenny. Actually, I may just start calling you Cotton Jenny. Whatever. Marvin. Okay, that works for me too. Marvin the Martian, you know what? Instant Martians. That's what we call people down the street that have weird hairdos that stick up at the top. You know, we call them instant Martians. Just add water. Anyways, you had to have seen Bugs Bunny to get what we're talking about. So how did we get on that? So that's what you've been working on?
Yeah, right now.
You know, just a powerhouse of putting it out there, aren't you?
Yeah, well, yesterday I had to cut up all the interfacing for it, and
just a second, I'll get out the violin.
And I sold the button bands, and
oh, good for you. Yes, okay, good for you. So, anyways, no, I'm Gladys. Really? Oh, okay. I'm not going back there. Okay, from now on, I'm not going to even call any of you by your names. You're all just going to become its. Okay, whatever. Colleen, hello, Colleen. So, anyways, what have I been working on? Well, several things. So let me see if I can switch things over so you can see what I'm talking about. Give me just a second.
Didn't you show this last week?
But yeah, I did, but it's finished now.
Oh, okay.
I don't think I showed it to completely finished. Why don't you just go away? Let's see your shorts.
Go away.
Whatever. Okay, so yes, as Walter said, you've seen this, but now I don't think I showed it completely done. It is now completely done. It's got binding on it. It's been quilted. It's got a cute little bow on it, and it sits now back in the Lucy room with all the other quilts and stuff, waiting for, I don't know what it's waiting for. I have no idea. It may go as a gift to somebody. I might hang it up at Christmas. I don't know what I'm going to do with it. Anyways, it's there. And don't be asking me to ship it to you. You know, actually, I would, except I did some investigation talking about shipping things, because we got talking about this on the Pop-Up Sew Day yesterday, and we'll talk more about Pop-Up Sew Day in a moment. But I was talking a little bit about I'm starting to make plans for the fall retreat. I'm not going to give any more details yet because I'm waiting for confirmation from a few of the speakers that I'm lining up, and once I have a confirmation with them, then I'll be able to tell you the date for it and get the ball rolling. But you know, I always have prizes, and I use Amazon gift certificates as prizes for the retreat, because the reason I do that is it's easy. I can send you the gift certificate electronically if you win. Somebody suggested that, you know, why don't I send out some of the 3D printed things I make, like my gnomes or my pin cushions or something like that. Okay, I've thought about that, but I figured that going through Canada Post is going to cost me more than the object's worth. So I did a little research this morning, and there is a facility on the Canada Post site where you can put in the dimensions of the package and the weight and put in a postal code for where it's going to go to. So I have these 6x6 boxes. So I put those in as my dimensions, and 3D printed items or whatever are very, very light. So I put in 0.5 of a pound. And I use the postal code for this city my brother lives in BC. I figured it's that far away. That's 5,000 kilometers away from us. So that's a distance. So I put in their postal code. Yeah, Canada Post, for simple parcel postage, which is the slowest way to get anything to anybody because they ship it by snail, was $24, $23.95, something like that. And then the prices went up from there. And that didn't include if you wanted tracking or if you wanted insurance on it. Like, not happening. Not happening. So, no, that's why I know in the States, a lot of the YouTubers out there have prizes all the time. Now, one thing about prizes and why they offer prizes is simply to increase their viewership. That's the only reason they're giving things away. But if they're in the United States shipping is much less expensive than it is here in Canada. And I have no idea what it would cost for me to ship something from Canada into the US. But if it's going to cost me $24 to ship it to BC in my own country, then it's going to cost me even more to ship it to the United States. Canadian Postal Service is not cheap. No wonder people use FedEx and
Yeah, I don't know what the prices are on FedEx or Purelator.
I don't know either. I mean, but the other thing with this is it becomes a hassle. I have to get somebody's mailing address. What happens if they don't get it? Tracking, even if I was to pay the money for tracking, I think tracking only exists while it's still within the Canadian Postal Service. Once it switches over, if it went across the border to the American system, I don't know if that tracking continues.
Well, it does if Americans send packages to Canada, tracking continues.
Does it? Yeah. Well, maybe it works in the same way. So whatever. There are so many different hassles with doing that for something that really isn't that significant to send. So I think I'm going to stick to Amazon gift certificates. And the other thing too is not everybody wants one of my 3D printed creations or something like that, right? With the Amazon gift certificate, people can go and get whatever they want or apply it to whatever they want to purchase. So I think it's an easier solution, and I think it's a better solution than trying to send something physically. So yeah. So either that or you tell me where you live and we personally drive to your place and drop it off, and you pay for our gas and put us up and food and all that kind of stuff. Yeah, I don't think that's happening. So anyways, back to what I've been working on. So you saw the wreath. Okay, what I'm working on now is another Christmas, I call it the Christmas Star Quilt. This is one that's based on a pattern from a book I reviewed recently that I got from A Quilting Life, which is run by Sherry McConnell and her daughter Chelsea Stratton. And I'm pretty much sticking to their patterns, just my colors are very different from theirs. And I want it to be fairly bold. Now, strictly speaking, I'm not using all Christmas fabrics in it. The stars are made from a sparkly fabric. I'm not sure if that's fairy frost or not, but it has, you can't really tell in this picture, but it has glitter in it, shimmery, and it looks kind of Christmassy. And then the sashing and the white background, which doesn't show up in the picture either, but it's definitely Christmas. And the center squares, or the diamonds, are also a Christmas fabric as well. Now, this isn't done yet. I've just started to put on the inner border, so I've got the two side inner borders on. I have to put the top and the bottom, and then there's a wider border that goes around that. And then I'm going to quilt it. And I'm really thinking of doing something that's really going to show up well on this, because there's a lot of negative space here between the sort of silvery gray diamonds and the white background and the whole bit. I might use a deep red right across it, edge to edge design. Maybe do the poinsettia design that I have, or I'll look on Urban Elements and see what other Christmas ones they have. And I'm thinking that. So, because the shapes are pretty basic. The stars are pretty basic. They're just a sawtooth star. So I think that this might be an opportunity to maybe focus more on the quilting and less on the blocks themselves. Make those more of a background feature. I don't know. That's what I'm thinking. And that's why I think I'll give it a try. I mean, what's the worst thing that can happen? It'll be quilted. You know, I don't think whatever you do to it is going to make it look horrible or anything. So anyways, yeah. So I was working on that all day yesterday on the pop-up sew day. And I think I have one more other picture. Oh, yeah, that's coming later on. I'll show you. Okay, so let me get out of this so we can see what people are saying. And where am I here? Here we are. So let's see, backing up. I don't know what this comes up for. Creators earn more money inserting ads, the more viewers are watching. Give it a try. No, I'm not doing that. Hi, Colleen. I think I said hello to Colleen. So Patsy says, I'm Fred. Instructor could never remember names, so peg me as Fred. Laura says, well, it looks great, Stephen. You make really awesome bows. I struggle with bows. Well, I kind of struggle with bows too. I lucked out on that one. Yes, Jeannie, postage is incredible. Which one, Janet? Looks hard. The neither one are hard to make. The one though with the wreath, that's tedious. That's really tedious because there's a lot of little pieces and you use that special tool, which I have a tutorial about that too. If you look back on my channel, I talk about how I put that together. Happy National Ice Cream Day. Oh, good. We'll have to eat ice cream. We haven't had any ice cream in 2 days.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going through withdrawal. Thanks, Barb. Thanks, Kathleen. Thanks, Janet. Yeah, Laura, I guess I don't really think it's that subdued, but I suppose it is. I mean, I'm pretty much sticking to, you know, primary colors in a way in it. So yeah. See, Jan says, I'll send you my address for Christmas box. The large purple thimble on your work table, smaller thimble too, and throw in the Continental M7 as well. Oh, you gotta love a kidder, don't you? Big dream there, Jan. Yep. Hi, Andy. Nice to see you. Amy's here. Hi, Amy. Oh, you've been lurking in the background, have you, Amy? Okay, sneaky girl. Yeah, I kind of did an assembly line, Jan. I had all my pieces laid out after they were cut, and I just piled them up in such a way that I could do a lot of chain stitching. Patsy says, beautiful wreath and quilt? Question mark after that. I'm not sure. I mean, not so sure about the beauty of the quilt, I guess.
Well, it's not technically a quilt. It's just a top, isn't it?
Oh, what? Oh, the wreath? No.
No, the wreath is a quilt.
No, the wreath is not a quilt. The wreath is a wall hanging. Well, it's done as a quilt. It's a mini quilt, okay? But you wouldn't use it on a bed because it's so densely...
Yeah, I know. But as your other one, she said, and quilt question mark, saying, meaning that I would think that is it a quilt or is it a top?
Well, right now it's nothing because it's not finished. Oh. But okay, technically speaking, yes, it is not a quilt yet because it hasn't been layered and quilted. So yes, it's just a top so far, but I'm not done the top. So yeah. Colleen says the quilt is coming along beautifully. I like the quilting idea you suggested. And Amy says, oh my, it's a travesty to have a day without ice cream. I love ice cream. Yes, I know, Amy. That's the way I feel about it too. And you know that Walter's been making ice cream, right? We've been talking about that. Maybe the last week. When did you get the churn?
When's the last time I made the strawberry with the churn?
Oh, you made it. We got the churn after we did the last live. We got sometime this past week, didn't we?
No, I think we've had it for a week.
Have we?
Yeah.
Well, anyways, Walter's got a churn now, and so he's experimenting with flavors. His latest flavor combination, it was trying to make rum and raisin. How did you do that?
I found a recipe online, but actually it didn't. It turned out more like vanilla ice cream with raisins.
But what did you do to the raisins?
I soaked them in rum.
Well, they don't know this. I know this.
Okay.
These are called prompting questions.
Okay, well, I made the ice cream base as recommended, and then I also soaked raisins for over a day in rum so that they soaked up some rum, and then I added a little bit of rum to the ice cream mixture with some vanilla and put it all together and turned it, and in the last 5 minutes I added the raisins so they wouldn't get all chopped up, and it came out okay. It tastes okay, but it's not terribly rummy.
It's not terribly rummy, but then you thought that was because you used a light rum as opposed to a dark rum.
They called for dark rum, and all we had at home was golden rum. So maybe next time we'll try a dark rum.
Apparently, though, the leftovers make a delicious drink. Ask Walter how he knows.
Well, there was only a tiny bit left, and I drank it.
Flick that right off. You might have a problem when... But anyway, so yeah, but now we're trying to come up with unique flavors you can't buy in the grocery store, because actually you worked it out, didn't you, what it costs to make, and how much do you get to, do we get 2 liters out of this when you make it?
Not quite. I think it works out to about 1.5 liters.
Okay, so a liter and a half. So you were
I
saying,
mean, it costs about the same amount as what it would cost in the
yeah.
grocery store. It's not that much different.
So basically, going out and buying ice, or making ice cream flavors that you can readily buy in the grocery store at about the same cost doesn't make a lot of sense, really.
No, not really, because I mean, we've got a good ice cream manufacturer in Canada that produces a nice quality product that's premium. So
Yeah, but trying to come up with flavors you can't get in the grocery store. So I suggested cranberry and amaretto. I thought that would be a good
yeah,
combination. You wanted to do banana.
yeah,
Banana. I
yeah.
think
The
we
one
have
we've got is a Cuisinart. There aren't too many brands of makers. I just got the one that has a bowl that you have to freeze. I didn't really want to. It's the least expensive option compared to buying one that has a compressor in it. And so I just thought I'd try it just to see how I it worked out.
So we're trying to come up with
Is that Bananas Foster Crunch? That sounds good.
bananas Foster Crunch. So what's besides bananas? What
What's
else
the
is?
crunch part?
Yeah, I know bananas Fosters is where you put a banana and like basically bake the banana or put it on your barbecue and do it. I've had that
I
way.
think it's got rum in it too.
Yeah. Oh well, it must be good then. It's got booze. Um, what about Elton Mess ice cream?
I've never heard of that.
What's Elton Mess ice cream? Peach and amaretto. That wouldn't be bad.
Pina colada.
Ooh, pina colada. Okay, so pineapple and maybe some coconut.
Coconut rum.
And yeah, coconut rum. Yeah, probably. That would probably be good. Um, but what you make at home doesn't have preservatives. Homemade is healthier.
Yeah.
Yeah. Banana and cherry. I would like that. Now, speaking of cherry, we watch a YouTube channel called Cooking with Glenn and Friends. This guy actually just lives in the next town over from us, but he does all kinds of different recipes for things, and he's been doing a series on no-churn ice cream. In fact, that's where we kind of got the inspiration for the first batch of ice cream that Walter made with we were talking last week about the speculous cookies.
Actually, there's one that I was looking up that you can only get in New Zealand. I think it says in
Kiwi.
I think they export to Britain as well, but it's called Hokey Pokey.
Oh, that's the one with.
And actually, all of it really is vanilla ice cream with crushed up chunks of sponge toffee.
Yeah, we had it when we were there.
Yeah.
I don't really remember it much, but Walter does with it. But so that what they were doing on Glenn and Friends, he had a bag of frozen cherries, that had already been pitted, and they were cherries, the kind you buy just in the grocery store in the frozen food section. And he laid them all out on a cookie tray, and he baked them for about 15 minutes at about 425, 450 degrees in the oven. So he roasted the cherries, basically, and took them out of the oven, and they had all kind of fallen apart, but he just threw all of that into his mixture, stirred it around, they sort of broke up, and then did what you do with the ice cream thing. And it looked really good. And he said that by roasting the cherries, it brings out more of the flavor, and he used a cherry liqueur with them as well in the ice cream. It looked like a pile of dog doo-doo when he took them out of the oven, but when he got finished mixing the ice cream, it looked really good.
That was a no-churn one, wasn't it?
Yeah, that was a no-churn.
Yeah, so I would throw that stuff in the ice cream maker at the end.
Oh, yeah, so it wouldn't break up maybe as much with it. So, yeah, butter pecan and caramel. I'm not that fond of butter pecan as a flavor, but that's one too you can get, though.
Marilyn, I just got a Cuisinart basic ice cream maker. I got it from Amazon. It was 129 Canadian, but it has a bowl in it that you have to freeze. They also have one that's a model below the one I have. It's all white, and I think the one I've got has a couple of different speeds. but the one that's all white only has the one speed and only makes ice cream.
So anyways, we're experimenting. And when I say we're experimenting, Walter's experimenting. It's another one of his little handy kitchen devices that he has all kinds of. He has the sous vide, he has the Instapot, and now he has the Cuisinart ice cream maker. What other little hidden electrical kitchen devices? Oh, yeah, well, I don't know. They're all ones I don't touch. So, because he won't let me, and that's okay. I don't want to. So, anyways, I'm backing up here a bit because people are saying some things that I missed. Derek says, I'm watching between the cracks on my screen as I managed to drop my iPad face down this morning. An excuse to buy a new one. Oops. Yep, that's not good. Did you have Apple
You're lucky
Care?
you can still see the screen.
Yeah, really.
I know somebody that dropped a phone one time that way, and the screen just died about 5 seconds after.
And when he says somebody, he's not talking about me, believe it or not.
No.
I just put my phone in the washing
machine. It's a lady
machine.
I used to work with, and she was glued to her phone all day long. And she dropped it on the way to a meeting, and she was like lost because she's glued to her phone all day long.
Thanks, Paula. Patsy says, sorry, hit the question mark by mistake. See, and so then Walter just ran with that and made up his own stories.
Yeah, okay.
He does that all the time. He sees new people moving into the neighborhood. He has a story about their backline. He starts with their birth, moves us right up to current day. He should be a writer for television for soap operas or something because he's got the right imagination for it. I just kind of look at him and go, and you know this how? Well, you just can tell. Yeah, no, you can't. But whatever. Carlos says, Yahoo gentleman from Lake Okoboji, Boja, Iowa. Okay, don't know
Okoboji.
Okoboji?
I guess so.
Okay, well, welcome, Carla. What's Fidel saying? It's tempting to go see the Autumn Colors to Canada this coming fall. I can pick up my gift in person. You're all a bunch of takers, you know that? Have you ever thought about that? I mean, I know you're just joking. And even if you're not, in my mind you are. Or whatever. Sure, Fidel, come on up. We'll take it to Niagara Falls. Of course, you used to live in the States and you weren't that far away from the border where you live. So I'm sure there isn't anything new here you haven't probably already seen. Amy says, oh yes, hearing about Walter making ice cream makes me want to get a churn and try it out.
Yeah, well, there is actually ones there is actually ice cream recipes that you don't need a churn with. That's how I started actually making one that was a no churn ice cream. The only thing is you need just cream and condensed milk to make it. There's lots on the internet, lots of recipes on the internet if you do look for it. Just look for a no churn ice cream.
It's certainly not low fat.
No, well, no ice creams that you make are really low fat. No.
No, that's just kind of an oxymoron. Low-fat ice cream. No, not worth it. I suppose sorbet is a little bit less.
Yeah.
I guess. Or
I mean, the thing is the no-churn ice cream takes cream and condensed milk, whereas the one with the churn you can use, it's sometimes like more cream and some milk in that type of thing. So, and the only problem with the no churn ice cream is it gets really solid in your freezer. And I found that even the one with the churn is pretty solid in your freezer. You have to let it sit out.
Well, obviously, commercial ice cream has something added to it to keep it from going
really hard,
hard on that. So I don't know. Let's see. I'm just trying to pick up here. Oh, Needlesmith says, sorry I'm late and that I missed you yesterday. Good to see you. Okay. No gold star for you. No. Marilyn says, is the star quilt an Accuquilt cut? And if so, what size block? Well, funny you should ask that question. Okay, there's a bit of a story here. So, yes and no. This started out, I started cutting the pieces out using my Accuquilt. And because I have lots of the cubes sizes and that, and strip sizes and things like that, I look at a pattern now, and if I figure I can cut it with the Accuquilt, then I will. Because it just makes your cuts more accurate, it's easier, it's faster. So I really like it for that. Having said that, I ran into a little problem with my Accuquilt machine. It busted. Yeah. Okay, how did that happen? Well, since day one when I got it, there's an adapter plug. It's how you put in the power, right? And it's one of those adapter plugs that there's a pin on the inside, slightly inside of the machine, and then the adapter plug itself for the power is a piece in it. Okay, pardon the example, but I did this on So Quilty already, so some of you, or So Chatty, so you may have seen that. But anyways, that's how it goes together, right? Okay, stop it. Just stop. Stop giggling. You're going to set them all off on that. Stop it. Stop it, stop it, stop it. Are you a 14-year-old pubescent boy?
Yeah, okay.
What? Fine. Okay. So anyways, now it gets worse. I always noticed that when I was trying to get the pin to go in the hole, it was a little bit tight. And, all right, there's just no way to say it. It was a little tight, but I had to wiggle it around to kind of screw it in there to get it to connect, okay? So, yeah, and it seemed every time I had to do that. And sometimes while I was using it, it would sort of loosen up a bit and my machine would go off. And then I'd have to replug it in, kind of a thing. Now, I figured that this would loosen up over use. I should have told Zach at Quartz Quilting where I got it right off the bat. Like, is this normal? And I'm thinking, okay, that little pin part was slightly too big for the adapter hole. Well, when I got it out on, what day was I trying to cut it? Last Wednesday.
Yeah.
Last Wednesday. And yeah, it's not going in again, and I'm trying to get the right angle and get it in there, and then it went clunk. The pin dropped off inside the machine. Now, of course, it's probably soldered to a circuit board, and so this soldering has broken off, and probably due to trying to wiggle it. Now, I was very careful when I wiggled it, because I figured there might be potential for that to happen, and it did. So I wrote to Zach and said, okay, this is what's happened. I told him the whole story like I just told you. And I figured Zach say, well, bring it in. We'll send it back to Accuquilt. And I figured I'll be without my machine for 6 months. Because from what I'm reading about Accuquilt as a company, they have very poor customer relations. And I'm beginning to think, too, the quality of the way they make some of their things is not that great for the money you're paying for it. But anyways, he didn't. Zach said, bring it in, I'll take a look at it, and if I can fix it, I will. But he says, if not, he says, I'll just give you another one. It's under warranty. Okay. So we went in on Friday, and Zach was right there, and came right down, had his screwdriver out, took the bottom panel off. He says, yep, the pin has come off the circuit board. He says, okay. Meanwhile, one of the other staff members comes in, and in her hand, new Accuquilt Go, right there, boom. And so I had taken in my power supply, so I said, let's give it a try right now and see if it connects. Okay. Well, wouldn't you know it? The little plug goes right in, no problem. No wiggling, no screwing around, no forcing anything, nothing. Right in. And so Zach could see that too. So yeah, the problem was that whatever pin they soldered onto that circuit board was the wrong one.
Either that or got some solder on the pin and it caused it a problem. So
maybe, who knows? But okay, good quality control, right? But what I was really pleased with was, again, just goes to show you, Quartz Quilting has the best customer service, because it would have been so easy for Zach just to say, okay, well, it's under warranty, but we'll have to send it back to Accuquilt. But he didn't. He took the problem on for himself and gave me a new one. So I don't think you can beat that customer service. And while I was there, I said to him, Zach, he knows that we do a YouTube channel and everything, and that I review online sites. And I have reviewed his online site before and you've heard me talk about him. But I have had several of you ask in the Idiot Quilter about the possibility of me doing a video showing, the store itself and the inside and all that kind of thing. So I mentioned this to Zach and said I'd like to interview Zach, and if he could take me on a tour of the store and he could talk about the different products that he handles. And I said I'd come up with a series of questions too, and I'd post that on an Idiot Quilter Presents episode. And he was all for it. He thought that was great. So this morning I wrote him an email. I planned it all out. I put questions together and put a procedure together for this, and sent that off to Zach for his input and everything. And then once he's happy with what I want to do and we have it all worked out, then all we have to do is pick a date and a time, and away we'll go. So yeah, then you'll get to meet Zach and the other people that work at Quartz Quilting. And I'm thinking of, if that one goes along pretty good, I'm also thinking of contacting Shirley at Ultimate Sewing and doing something similar with her. So you get to see my two favorite quilting stores. Did I say quilting stores before, or did I say scrapbooking?
I don't know. I didn't hear.
Oh, you weren't listening to me as usual. Yeah, you only listen to me when you...
I'm spaced out most of the time.
Get off the cheap drugs. Really. You got to stop that. Too much ice cream. Ice cream brain. Yeah, possibly rum and raisin in the jar brain. I don't know with that. So anyways, yeah. So I'm happy. My Accuquilt's working fine. And you know what's funny? For the longest time, I poo-pawed having an Accuquilt machine. Because I thought, yeah, really? It's just a die cutting machine. You can do all your cutting the other. And now that I have one, I can't live without it. So, yeah. See how dependent we get on technology and things? So, yeah, to answer your question, half of it is cut out from the Accuquilt. The rest of it I ended up cutting by hand. They were simple shapes, though, so it's not a big problem with that. But I am glad I have one that's working. So what are other people saying here? Jan says, seriously, I can't believe what you got done yesterday. You were busy running around between your sewing machine and your computer. Well done. Yeah, I'm a power sewer. But you know what the secret is to like getting things done fast? Figuring out how to streamline it. Set yourself up like a little assembly line kind of a thing. Rather than trying to make, if you're going to do a whole bunch of pieces that are the same sewing, then chain stitch them through. And I've got little design boards, and I lay my pieces out for each block on those design boards, and then I just work my way through that. So if you're, for example, if you're making you need a whole bunch of half square triangles, and I'm sure most of you do it this way anyways, you know, say one block takes 4 half square triangles, but you need to make 10 of these blocks or whatever. Just make all your half square triangles because you're sewing in the same way. You're using the same needle settings, same presser foot settings, everything. And just zip, 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 zip through them all. And that does save you some time. But once I'm in the zone, I just go. I just keep going with it. Unlike some people who... But Walter's a perfectionist. You're very attentive to detail.
Anyway,
I'm trying to keep a straight face when I say that. Yeah, it's not working. Okay, moving down here on the questions. Andy has an old Cuisinart ice cream maker. Used to make ice cream when my sons were little. They liked it more than store-bought ice cream. Yeah, well, it depends on your brands. We have a brand Walter already mentioned, Chapman's, which actually...
Chapman's, they have lower quality ones, and then they have premium.
We buy the
premium. And we buy the premium. And actually, the premium's really good. I mean, it does have other additives in it, like things that keep it soft and keep it preserved and stuff like that. But yeah, other than that, it's actually a pretty good ice cream. It's a good tasting ice cream.
Yeah, it is. It's good ice cream, and it's not terribly out of the way expensive. But what you make at home doesn't have preservatives. Homemade is healthier. Yeah, that's true. Toffee crumbs in the crunch. Oh, Teresa should be eaten mess. Predictive text. Okay. I still don't know what eaten mass is. So
sounds like something a dog would do on the floor.
Eaten? Did you make that mess? Not me, it's the cat. Oh, Teresa, joining late after a long absence. Yes, we have not seen you. We were going to send out the RCMP to find you, Teresa. Tiger. See, that's an ice cream I kept saying to Walter. When I was a kid, I remember when that was very popular. And it was orange and black ice cream, orange and licorice. And actually, it was pretty good. I remember, probably now I'd be sad.
Actually, I love licorice, but
you don't like orange.
As a kid, I didn't like it.
No. And hi, Veronica.
I mean, I don't know what it'd be like now.
I've
had
never
it.
seen it anywhere. I don't know if you can
There
get
was
it.
some place we went quite some time ago that had it in their thing. I don't know who has that.
I don't know. I haven't looked for it in years. Yes, we have an air fryer, Teresa. Yes, for sure. Um, Amy says, I was watching your So Chatty episode late last night when I was settling down to go to sleep. So what you're saying is we put you to sleep. Well, that's nice to know. I almost woke my husband. I was laughing so hard. Oh, yeah. That was not intentional at all. That just happened like that. So believe it true. I'm not lying about that. Um, I've also read, Marilyn says, horror stories on my Facebook group for Accuquilt regarding their customer service. Yeah, I've read a lot of those too. And
I've read reviews and stuff like that too about people asking them for help and not getting back to them. So
yeah, Amy says it's nice to have a local dealer that has good customer service. I'm walking away from my local Janome dealer because of poor customer service. Yeah.
Sorry to hear that.
Yeah, I'm lucky that I've got Zach at Quilter Quilting for my Accuquilt, and I'm lucky I have Shirley at Ultimate Sewing for my Janome, because Shirley is also excellent customer service for all that kind of stuff. So really lucky. Those two stores are that's why they're my favorite. Yeah, Barb, and I told him that too. I mean, I don't have any problem with advertising stores that I believe
And
in.
there's no kickback here. We don't have any kickback. So
No. I'm just doing it because people have asked about it, and I thought, why not? I'm there often enough that it's easy to do, and Zach's agreeable to it. So, yeah, that's why we're going to do it. Marilyn says, you introduced me to the system, so I just got one. Now I'm on the shopping binge. Yeah, I know, and it's an expensive shopping binge, isn't it? It is. Marilyn says, I cut out an entire exploding heart quilt with my Accuquilt. It was much faster, more accurate. Yeah, it is. Eaten Mess is raspberries, meringue. Oops, I moved it too fast. Where'd it go?
Is raspberry there down? Raspberries and meringue mixed together with cream and sharp and sweet.
That sounds interesting.
Yeah.
Huh. With meringue. So you'd have to make meringue. Huh. That's something. I have never heard of that. And Barb says she loves licorice ice cream, but can you get ice cream that is just licorice, like not like the tiger mixed with orange?
I don't know.
Never look for it. I mean, Walter loves licorice, so
yeah, but I don't know if I would like it as an ice cream.
Well, maybe not. I don't know.
I'd like Dutch licorice. That'd be most people are disgusted by it.
Yeah, well, pretty much. You'd have to put salt in it. Anna says, were you watching Glenn and Friends for the No Churn Ice Cream SB? Yes, that's where we got into all of this. Hi, Billy. Is Your King says, hello from Las Vegas. Hello. And Sandra Hughes, it's nice to hear you and Walter talking together without being nice to each other.
We're never nice to
each other. Well. And Patsy, she says her Janome dealer is the best. No, she's not. No, you're not. No, it isn't. Mine's the best. No, yours is the best. No,
it's surprising to hear the Janome dealer is a problem because most of the sewing machine companies are try to have good dealers. But
New Quilting Life with Janice says a message retracted. Okay. Well, you're calling us stupid idiots? It's okay. You won't be the first. Veronica says, I got an Accuquilt too because of your video and I love it and I've spent a lot of money on dyes. Okay, I'm sorry, people, if I became an enabler here. It wasn't my intent, okay? And I hope you all have good luck with your Accuquilts and you don't resent the money you've spent on them. So far, I don't, and I just had that one little problem and that's been solved. So far, so good. Hi, Judy. Iser King says, I've been holding out on the Accuquilt for several years. Now my legs are demanding that I buy one. Well, if you get the electric one, especially the Go Big machine, if you have problems with your hands, like if you have carpal tunnel or you have arthritis or something like that, I would recommend you spend the extra money then and get the electric one, because I think the crank one is going to do your hands in a little bit. Because there's a lot of pressure that goes on top of those dies when they go through. And I think, like, I'm thinking about the old die cutting machines that I owned when I was doing paper crafting that cranked. And I mean, I don't have arthritis in my hands or anything like that, but you know, you do that for a while, you do get kind of sore. Uh, oh, Janice's phone messed up. Not a problem, Janice. So, anyways, those were things that have happened so far. So, reminder of what's coming up this Friday, July the 22nd, International Stitch Marathon. You've heard me talk about it forever. All the information is in the show notes below. I think that's all I need to say about it. We'll see what happens. See you there, maybe not see you there. But I did see some of you yesterday on the Pop-Up Sew Day. We had, I think at the height, we probably had about 12 people, not counting Walter and myself, there. And that's not quantity, it's quality. You know, and everybody, I think, had a good time and got a lot of things done. I know I got a lot of stuff done. And I know it's summertime, so, and it was a nice warm day yesterday, at least where we live. And so I'm sure there are people that have cottages or are going on vacation or just want to be outdoors. They don't want to be stuck inside in their sewing room. Although one lady on the pop-up, she had her sewing machine on her boat out in the Thousand Islands area of the St. Lawrence River. They're tooling around and she's sewing. I mean, talk about idyllic. The water looked really calm, really nice and blue. It was a great day. And there she's got her featherweight set up and she's sewing away and traveling around amongst the Thousand Islands. I think that is the way to go, really, on that. Except I don't know so much about, because her machine doesn't take electricity, so she has to hand crank it. And you know, those big boats have generators on them. I'd be plugging my machine in with that. But kind of cool though when she was like joining us for a little while with her cell phone and doing all of this. Just really interesting. Hi Betty, welcome. I've purchased from Quartz a few times and they have the quickest shipping ever. Sometimes they receive it the next day or 2 days at most. Yeah, I never have them ship it to me because we're only about 40 minutes away and we just drive up there.
Yeah, but a lot of times when Steve orders something, they have it
Oh, yeah.
ready for him within an hour or two.
Or less.
Yeah.
I mean, last couple of things I've ordered online from them and I put that I'm going to pick them up. Within half an hour, I've got an email. My order's ready. Like, wow, that is fast. And that's where I buy all my batting, as you know, as well, because they have the best prices on batting. They do usually a pre-order sale.
Bulk batting.
Bulk batting, yeah, like 30-yard. I buy 120-inch 30-yard rolls of it, $260 Canadian. I mean, you can't beat that price. And of course, we pick it up, so we don't have to pay
we don't
shipping.
pay shipping. They do have to. I think the shipping's quite expensive for them to ship it.
It depends on where you live.
You'd have to figure out whether it's worthwhile to buy with the shipping. So,
but yeah, so yeah, I can't say too much about them because they're a great shopping experience. They really are. Amy says, I missed the pop-up yesterday and I was sewing most of the day. I need to sign up for the email notice. Yeah, well, Amy, just send me, my email address is in the show notes here. Just send me an email and letting me know which ones you want to be on. I have 3. Or if you just want one or whatever combination, I have the Pop-Up Sew Day, Craft and Chat, and my retreat. And so I can put you on any of those. Iskar King is it okay for me to announce the marathon to my buddies in Vegas? Oh yeah. Yeah. There are 10 of us that are co-hosts and we're from all over. Some of the co-hosts are from Canada, some are from the States, one is from the UK. There's actually one that's in Australia right now too. I don't know how that's going to work out for her time-wise, but yeah, by all means, you know, everybody is welcome to it, and all the stuff is in the show notes, including the Zoom link and the password to get in. And it is Friday, and it starts in Eastern Standard Time. It starts at 11 a.m. And then you'll have to do the math to figure out your time zone from there. I know Mountain Time, it starts at 9 a.m. and it's 12 hours. I don't think I'm going to be there for the full 12 hours. But you can come and go as you please. You don't have to be there right when it starts. You don't have to stay the whole day. It's a chance to get things done. And I do know there is going to be a couple of games because I got put in charge of that. So there, that will happen. And I don't know what else is going on. That's about all I know. So yeah, even though I'm a co-host, but it's really not my show. It's somebody else's show.
You're just promoting it.
I'm just promoting it. Yeah, I'm going to be there, but I'm just promoting it. And actually, it conflicts with the Quilter's Way Zoom too on that day. So I don't know. I may pop out of it for a bit and go to the Quilter's Way, and then pop out of Quilter's Way a little bit early and pop back in. I don't know. I'm in such demand. I'm just double booked everywhere. Oh, please, I need a personal assistant. Will you be my personal assistant? Yeah,
no, right.
I want to get things done. Yeah, never mind that. Amy says, okay, I will send an email shortly. It's nice to be around people, even if it's virtual. Yeah, and actually, I prefer the virtual. I really do.
Actually, it's nice because you don't have to lug your sewing machine anywhere or anything, and it's an opportunity to be social with other people.
Yeah. But anyways, we were talking about the Accuquilt and the great customer service. Well, right now we're fighting with another electronic device. We got ourselves a new Ring doorbell system. Now, we already had one, but Walter didn't like it because it's one of the first generation ones, and what, you were having trouble?
Well, no, I have to take the whole thing off to recharge it. Well, first of all, you can connect it to your doorbell system and it's supposed to keep it recharged. But for some reason, our doorbell system, it caused the, what is it? The
doorbell is short out.
Yeah, not short out, but it caused I think the transformer to go bad on it. So I unplugged it from the doorbell system. So it ran on battery only. Only problem is every couple of months or so, I have to take it off the wall to recharge it, which is kind of annoying. So the new one we got has a battery that just pulls out, and then I can just have that recharge.
But it is not operational.
Well, first of all, the original doorbell mounts a certain way to the outside of your house, right? It screws in a certain way, and it was nicely screwed in and everything else. The new doorbell comes with a different way to screw in to the brick or whatever, and it's not the same. So I have to try and figure out, I have an adapter that came with it. I put it on there temporarily with the adapter on it, and I didn't like the way it attached. So right now we're fighting with it.
It still says it's not connected.
Yeah,
everything.
We'll have to look at
it. It's a pain in the butt.
I'm getting to the point where I think I'm just going to box it back up, send it back, and use the original one again.
Yeah, at least that one.
That one we can get to work. So
there's still a couple of other things I can try, but we'll see. But yeah,
I'm getting ticked off with
modern technology, you know. And Ring is actually provided by Amazon. It's one of their supported
devices.
But yeah, I don't know.
I mean, the original one works okay most of the time.
Most of the time,
it's but so I kind of liked having it. But now I'm kind of sorry I tried to upgrade it. So,
well, you know what I'm wondering is when we get the new windows and doors put in, and we have to have the home security guys come in and disconnect all of that that's connected into the door, and then they'd have to reconnect it. And at that point in time, our security system is very, very old.
Yeah.
I am sure they'll want us to upgrade to something. And now the new security systems all have like little video cameras, and I think they have a door.
Yeah, they may have one too. Yeah,
and I'm just thinking, depending on what they're going to charge us a month to upgrade the system, and that we might look into that as well, because I have a feeling it would be more reliable than this Ring thing.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I think maybe would be best, because that thing cost what, $200 some odd bucks, wasn't it?
Yeah, well, it worked out about $250 including tax.
Not a cheap toy.
Mm-hmm.
Really. So, you know, if we can't get it working, then I think get rid of it. Send it back and get our money back. That's one thing about Amazon. We can do that. But anyways, so yeah, so woes of all that kind of stuff. So my birthday, the after birthday now, um, it wasn't really the way I had things planned, but very rarely do when I plan things around certain events, do they actually come out the way I planned them? Because there's other influencing forces, like my sister. So, we were talking about, I had these gift certificates that I got using points, and we were going out $300 worth of points, and we were going to the Keg. And we've talked about the Keg before. It's a steakhouse restaurant. We like it. It's a Canadian chain. Always very busy, very popular. The food's always very good, and all that kind of stuff. But it's also very expensive as well. So I had the reservation booked for Thursday evening, which was the date of my birthday and the whole bit. And that's what we're going to do. Then I get an email from my sister 2 days before. And we were talking about getting together and having a family dinner out using what was left up over of the inheritance money that I had set aside for other incidentals and things like that. And there wasn't much to divide up amongst three of us anyways. So I figured, I suggested to my sister we could go out, maybe just have a nice dinner. And so that meant her husband, and her two adult children as well, my nephew and my niece, and that. So she said, but we were having a hard time coordinating a time for it because of her husband's work schedule and the kids' work schedules and everything like that. So she says, I know it's short notice, but what about Wednesday night? Because her husband's work schedule had changed, so he wasn't affected by that. And the kids were free and whatnot. So I thought, well, okay, better hit while the iron's hot. So I said, sure. And we were going to another restaurant that before COVID hit, we used to go to on a regular basis. It's an Italian restaurant that we like, and that's where she likes that too. So I said, okay, fine. I didn't mention anything, the fact that the next night we had a reservation at the Keg. Now, some people are going to say to me, well, you can both know at nights. Yeah, I didn't want to do that because it won't seem quite as special. As it turned out, we went out a lot last week. I'll come back to that. But so I said to Walter, I'm going to cancel the reservation. We'll go next. Maybe we'll go next Thursday night or something. I can make a reservation for it. That kind of thing. So we went out with my sister and her kids and everybody, and we had a nice dinner there and everything. And I got a lovely birthday present from my sister. Now, I don't want to make this sound that I'm not thankful for it, because it has nothing to do with that. She didn't need to get me anything because we don't give gifts, my sister and I, to each other, or, as adults on any occasion. We don't really do Christmas much, although I usually make a few things for them. And that we just don't. So when we got there was a fancy, wine bottle bag sitting on the table with a card hanging out of it. And so I said, oh, my nephew's sitting there. And I looked at my nephew and says, well, that must be for me, because I'm the important person here, right? And my nephew laughs. But anyway, so I opened up. Well, my sister got me a bottle of cognac, Courvoisier, which is as cognacs go, it's not the most expensive thing on the planet for that kind of thing, but it's not cheap either. I have no idea how much a bottle of that costs these days. And she got me a relatively large one too. The thing is, I haven't drank Courvoisier in probably at least 25 years, if not more. When I was younger, when I was in my 20s, I drank it because I was a snotty little pissant, something that my nephew kind of is like now, kind of a deal. Thought it was really trendy, really being sophisticated. You're having your brandy snifter of cognac after dinner meal. And that's what I had. And I actually had a brandy warmer. You put your glass in, there's a little candle sits underneath it. Yeah, and you put the brandy in or the cognac, and it warms it up. Actually creates it into fumes that are just about to asphyxiate you. Get my printed lips. Anyways, I said, okay, well, thank you. That's really nice. It'll probably sit in the cupboard for 100 years. It'll be vintage with it, because I really don't. Well, I don't know. Maybe I should try it again. Maybe my taste has come back for it. But anyways, it was nice. So I'm not not looking a gift horse in the mouth or anything like that. It was a nice thought. But really, she could have just got me a bottle of wine if she wanted to get me anything, because save some of the money, don't spend it all on cognac, kind of a thing. But I know she did it because she thought I would like it, and that's the thought that counts, right? And that was very nice of her. But anyways, so Walter wasn't supposed to get me anything for my birthday either, because he already gave me an early birthday present. When the Mac arrived, he gave me a docking system for it, and it was an expensive docking system as well. And he said at the time, well, it's kind of an early birthday present, sort of yes, sort of no. And I said, well, no, yeah, it is a birthday present. Don't be getting me anything for my birthday, because the other thing too is when we want things, we buy them for ourselves. We're impossible to buy for. I mean, so don't worry about it. Well, he got me a present anyways. He got me a hoop for my embroidery machine. That's one that it doesn't come with. He has a similar hoop, but I borrow his all the time. In fact, I had it permanently installed down here, actually. Well, you weren't using it. You knew where it was if you needed it anyways. So he bought me one, went over and saw Shirley at Ultimate Sewing, and then Shirley talked him into buying me a box of variegated Floriani threads as well, which are not cheap either, but very nice threads. And I'm showing them Tuesday on the.
She was being helpful.
She was being very helpful. Actually, I think I do have a picture of what Walter got me. I'll just show you here. There you go. There's the Janome hoop, and there's the box of threads. And they came with a set of top stitch needles for some reason. Too. I don't know if you need those or not.
No, I don't think
I've got lots of top stitch needles. I don't use top stitch
well,
needles.
actually, I'll take them from you.
Well, you can have them. Just remind me. I put them in my needle box. But anyways, yeah, those are nice looking threads. And I think I'm going to use them for quilting. Actually, is there one there that I could use? Maybe not. Just dark greeny color. That might work. Red. Anyways, I'll have to think about it. So, yeah. That was very nice of my husband to do that for me. What do you want?
What?
What? I said, what do you want? It's nice of you to do this for me, but I'm not sure what it is you want. Never mind. There's a joke in there somewhere. Go back. There we go. There we are. And what else? Oh, so we did end up, though, on the Thursday night going out anyways for dinner, but not to the Keg. We went out to get, I'm 65 now, so, what do 65-year-old senior citizens want to do? Go for the early bird special. Not that this place we went to had an early bird special, but we wanted to beat the crowd, and they have a nice patio, and Thursday was really hot. So we went to, it's called the Courtyard. It's in town next door to us. We've been there many times in the past, and we went for curry because they have a really good curry. And usually Walter will get it, and I say to him, you sure you want this? Because usually he complains about it afterwards. Why is that?
Because it affects my system.
Oh, yeah. For about 3 days.
Well, actually, it wasn't too bad.
Yeah. Well, anyways, we had that. When we sat down and we saw who the waiter was, we went, oh, God, no, not him. There's this one guy. He's worked there for quite a while.
He always screws our order up.
Always screws it up. And what we like to do is we order a Caesar salad. Their salads are huge in this place. So we usually order one.
We order a small and split it, but the small is huge.
Huge. And split it. And then we get the curry. And we always say to them, we would like the salad first, like an appetizer, okay? Kind of a deal before, and then we have the curry.
Every waitress or anybody else that works in this place always gets it right, except for him.
So guess what? We're sitting there waiting for the salad to come out. Suddenly, there's a young lad comes out, looks like a busboy kind of a thing, with our curry order in his hands. And I looked at him and said, no, sorry, we were supposed to have a Caesar salad to start with first. poor kid, I felt sorry for him because he probably hasn't worked there that long. I've not seen him there before, but then we don't go that often. But probably a summer job or something. It looked like a high school age kid. And he's standing there with these 2 plates, so he takes them back in. And then he comes out with the salads, and we have those. We just start eating the salads. He comes out again with the curries. We haven't finished the salad yet. We haven't even started it, basically. He said, sorry. I mean, I felt sorry for him, but I didn't want this stuff. And my philosophy is when I go out to eat and I'm paying for this, then whatever way I want stuff done is the way I want stuff done. And I don't think I'm being unreasonable to ask them to bring me my appetizer before my main
And
course.
we've been to this place 100 times, and we've never ever had a problem except when we get this one waiter.
Yeah, every time. Well, so the poor kid had to take it back again, and we're eating salad. Then the waiter comes over, and he's apologetic. Oh, he says, I purposely put it in. He said, told him to delay that and everything. Yeah, did you? Maybe he did. And they were busy, but they're always busy. This is a very popular place. So I don't know. So I said to Walter, the next time we go in and we do this combo, what we're going to do is we're going to order the salad first and not order anything else at that point. We'll say to them, we are going to order, but we're going to wait until after we've had our salad, and then we'll place our dinner order. And that'll keep things straight. But you want to know something? That place I was telling you about, the keg that we go to, we have to do that with them as well. Because we will order an appetizer, and then we'll hold back. We will not order from the menu anything else until we've had the appetizer. Also, they have team serving, which most places do now. And when you're dropping the kind of money you're going to be dropping at a place like the keg, I don't want to be in and out in 20 minutes. And yes, you could be. The way they are extremely fast. And it's an event. You want to linger over your food, and your drinks and things like that. It's an occasion. This isn't fast food we're talking about here. It's not McDonald's. So we have learned that we have to order everything separately, one at a time, and not worry. Because one time I ordered escargot.
You ordered an appetizer, and then we had a salad and because the salad's faster to make, they brought out salad first.
And then bang, they brought the other appetizer, and so we had to re-educate them. Said, no, this is what I want first. When I'm done that, then we'll have this. And then, so it's just easier because they do this team serving, and I can see how things can get mixed up. Their job is not easy. I would not want to be a waiter or waitress. No way.
Plus, they probably get pressured in moving people.
Yeah, probably because it's volume, kind of a thing. So we just order each thing separately and don't put in the order for the next thing until we've finished with the first thing. And that seems to work for us. Probably annoys the shit out of the restaurant people in there because our dinner's taking a little bit longer, like maybe 25 minutes. We're both very fast eaters. It comes, we suck it in. Okay, next, kind of a thing. And over the years, I've always been a fast eater. And I can't change that. I mean, we make the joke here. It took us an hour to make. It took us 2 seconds to eat. Literally. Yep, that's what it's like. What are people saying here?
Judy says they have a ring and they don't need to charge anything. Yeah, well, rings come in different models.
Yeah.
You can get a model that you don't have to charge. But the problem is with our doorbell system, the original one we got had a charge on it. And you could also connect it to the doorbell system. But it caused a discrepancy with the doorbell system.
It didn't work with it.
So I was afraid to order one that was just ran on the doorbell. So we got used to the one with the battery in it. So and that's why we ended up still having one with the battery. And then Kathy asked for a monthly fee.
Yes, there is. And Judy's answered that. Yearly fee of $50 and saves all images at the door. Yes, that's correct. And we have that. It's just gone up. It is now $60 a year. With that, we got a notice about that. So yeah, you don't have to have that. It just means it saves the images to the cloud, and then you can download them to your phone, kind of a thing. But even still, it doesn't. It saves them only for about 6 months, I think, at a time.
Yeah, I
If
know.
that,
So if you've got somebody that breaks into your house, you might have a record of it, type of thing.
yes, Teresa and Isa, yeah, yeah, she tried, yep, and she said, I mean, like I said, I appreciated what my sister did. I'm not complaining about that. I just, found it funny. That's how little my sister knows. Of course, not that the conversation has come up much about
No.
cognac. I mean, I said, "Oh, this is great, wonderful. Oh, I was out. Yeah, I was. Now I'm not." So, uh, Barb says Walter gives the best gifts. Oh, now they'll be wanting you to send them things. Yeah. What size is the RE28 hoop?
I think it is 7/9 width and either 11 or 11.5 inches high. And the reason I got him the R28 hoop is that the Janome 550E, it has 3 hoops. Is it 3 or 4?
Yeah, well, I think it comes with four. Four.
Yeah, I think it comes with 4 hoops, but they have increased their largest hoop from the R28. There used to be the 500E had the largest hoop was the R28, and when the 550 came out, they got rid of the R28 hoop and brought out the R36B hoop, which is 14 by 7/9, and it's just that much bigger that it's sometimes annoying to use, for me anyway. And the R28's a little bit smaller, so it doesn't come with the R28 hoop. So it still works with the R28 hoop, but it's a nice addition to have.
Yeah, it is, because actually the 36 is too big for some projects, and the size, the 20, I think it's the 20.
The 20 is 7/9 by 7/9 or something.
Is sometimes just slightly too small depending on what you're doing. So this is it's sort of like Goldilocks and Three Bears. This one's just right.
Yeah, this one, a lot of patterns use the R28 hoop, and you can use a bigger hoop, but then you use more backing, and it's a larger hoop that takes more space and stuff like that. And it's just one that it's kind of nice to have. So
yeah. And just looking down here, Marilyn says someone gave me a bottle of Bombay Gin Sapphire about 25 years ago and still sitting in the cabinet unopened. Not fond of gin or hard liquor. Yeah, that's kind of me too, Marilyn. Oh, Lisa Marie, she's here! Yay! Lisa Marie's made it. And Barb says, how busy could it be at 4 p.m.? Well,
it is beginning to get like dinner rush. When we left,
carry on.
When we left the place, they had a huge lineup waiting to get in. So
yeah, that's why we went a little bit earlier, because it's so popular. And one of the reasons it's popular, especially in the summer, is that they have a huge patio area, and a lot of restaurants out here in our end do not have large patio areas, so it attracts a lot of people in the summer for that. But it's always very popular because the food is pretty good. There's a good selection. The service usually is pretty good, barring this one idiot. That's why he's still working there. I don't know with it. So yeah. And they have quite a variety of foods. Like they've got curries.
Their menu's quite extensive. So.
They have curry. They have Chinese form of Thai. They have, pubby food too, because they are basically a type of pub in that. So yeah, they're very popular. Oh, Marie's here. Hi, Marie.
Adam So's is here.
Lisa says, I thought I was late. Well, I am. I was on before, but then had dinner. Anne says, hello, everyone. I hope you're all keeping well. Just caught up with you. Hi, Anne. Adam, you made it. Hi, Anne. Adam. And Needlesmith says, glad you mentioned the crank issue with the little cutting machines. I was just looking at expense. I want something to cut itty bitty paper and fabrics, 3/4 of an inch and 1 inch. Well, do you want it to cut paper though and fabric? Um, I'm not sure what they say about cutting paper with an Accuquilt. It's sort of like, I'm thinking like scissors. You should never use your fabric scissors to cut paper because it'll dull them. And essentially the way an Accuquilt works, the dies, it's a blade that's embedded in the foam in the shape of whatever it is that you want to cut. And I don't know if by cutting paper with it, whether that would dull the blades.
I mean, you can get paper cutting
Yeah,
die machines
for a lot
yeah,
less.
yeah.
They've got like a lot less money. You can pick up one of those for like $50, kind of a thing. If all you want to do is cut little pieces of paper, that's the route I would go with that. But and you can actually cut fabric
Or
with a die cutting,
Cricut machine or something.
or get a Cricut. Yeah, you can get a Cricut for it. Although I know.
Yeah, it says Jeannie says Accuquilt says don't cut paper.
Yeah. Okay. So yeah, I think I read that. Adam says, you want a die cutting machine for paper? No? Yeah, like that's what it sounds like. You might, if all you're going to cut is 3/4 inches and 1 inch pieces of fabric, a paper dyeing cutting machine will do that. It won't cut as many layers, but I know this because I cut out some applique pieces with my old craft die cutting machines that I had. Now, of course, you can go more elaborate and get something like a Cricut or Brothers Scan and Cut. I have not had a great deal of luck cutting fabric with a Cricut, so I can't really talk to that. I have the maker that had a rotary cutter on it, and it's never worked right since day one that I got it. But I do know other people claim they don't have any problems.
For EPP papers.
Oh, yeah, okay, Needlesmith, I'm confused. Do you okay, you want to do English paper piecing, I get it. Accuquilt does have a die, because I have it, that cuts out hexagons for paper piecing. Now, I have to admit, I did use it when I got that die to cut both paper and a fabric, because it has two things on the die. One that cuts the size that you would need for your papers, and then the next size up for cutting the fabric so that wrap around it. Now, it did not say, and it was designed for that. That's what it says on the package. But I didn't use it very much because that was something. In fact, I didn't even have an Accuquilt when I bought the die. It fit in one of my die cutting machines, just fit into it. And I had to do a lot of shimming it and things like that to make it work. But now that I have an Accuquilt, I don't think I would cut paper with it. I don't think I'd take the chance with it. Marilyn says, you can cut paper with Accuquilt, but I would not do it. Some people recommend putting paper on top of a die for certain dies. Yeah, I don't know. That's something that would have to be investigated, and I have not investigated that any more than what I've just told you. Marilyn's got the crank, and it goes really smooth, no effort. Oh, okay. I wondered if it would be a little bit more, because I'm basing that on my experience with crank machines that I've used for die cutting paper. With that. Patsy cuts her EPPs on her Cricut. Yeah. I just didn't have any luck with that. So, and I haven't gone back to play with it anymore. Because I don't do a lot of applique. And quite frankly, to use a Cricut to cut you can only cut one layer of fabric at a time on a Cricut. You are limited to, a piece no bigger than 12 by 12 inches, actually less than that, because you have to take into consideration borders on the machine. And I think, and by the time you get it stuck down and smooth it out and cut that, if you're cutting one intricate applique, maybe it's good for that. But if you want to do a whole bunch of massive pieces, like squares or something, you're better off using a rotary cutter and a ruler, I think. At least in my opinion. Adam says, I find the little independent EPP companies charge a good price for the papers to not go to the effort personally. Maybe I'm lazy. Yeah, actually, that's true. You can get them. There was a time when you couldn't get them, but now a lot of places, I know Ultimate Sewing carries them, and they have them all in different shapes and sizes, and you can get them on the internet all over the place. and they're not that expensive.
Needlesmith said that Kate Jackson uses the Sizzix to cut.
Oh,
knives.
okay. Yeah, well, Sizzix is the same as an Accuquilt in the way that works, so I don't know. I just don't know.
Pam Claire says she uses her Accuquilt to cut fabric with fusible paper attached.
No problem. Yeah, I don't know. And then
I mean, it may not be a problem, but
No.
you know, over time it might dull your blades. I don't know.
yeah, I don't know. I mean,
we're not sure. So
yeah, so we can't tell you anything certain about that. I guess I don't know what they tell you on the Accuquilt site. May I need to explore that a little further and see what they tell you. And Pam says, I use same scissors for paper and fabric. Have since I learned to sew 40 plus years ago. Well, they must be really dull. Okay, I absolutely thought that might have been an old wives' tale, but I have found out for myself it is not. I used my good fabric scissors to cut paper on something, and in the back of my head I'm going, no, you're not supposed to do this. Don't do this. And guess what? My scissors dulled right down, and so I won't do that again. So I don't know. Maybe it depends on the type of scissors you've got or the manufacturer of the scissors. I don't know with that. So basically, if it's working for you, Pam, then it's not broke. Don't fix it. That's the way I look at things. Marilyn says she looked it up and says you can cut other materials such as fusible web and small quantities of paper with Accuquilt dies. So infrequently only. Yeah, okay. So if you're only going to do it for 1 or 2 cuts or something like that, probably not a problem. But if you were cutting out hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of paper pieces, then I think there might be a problem. I don't know. Just like the scissors. Okay, who's going to experiment and find out? I'm not. I'm not. The applique you iron on the steam a seam and then cut it. Accuquilt shows this on YouTube. Yeah, okay. So maybe that one doesn't affect it as much. Now Adam says he finds the Sizzix do dull quite quickly. My husband uses them for card making and it's always shouting at them. Oh, yeah. So you see, I don't know. Don't anybody hold me to any of this because I'm not going to take responsibility for it. All I know for me, I am not going to cut paper with my Accuquilt. I might cut steam a seam, but I don't do a lot of applique, so it would be, rare when I would do that anyways. Just for the sake that I wouldn't have to cut the steam a seam around the applique. I could do it all in one fell swoop for that. But I'm not going to chance it by, cutting other things. Because you know me, I'm prone to having things go awry. Even when they say you can do things, it goes awry for me. Can you sharpen scissors by cutting sandpaper? No, you can't, Barb. And you can't sharpen scissors by cutting through layers of tinfoil either. Old wives' tales. How do I know this? I have tried both methods. You'll only, especially sandpaper, even if it's
you'll make it worse.
You'll make them worse. There's only one way to get your scissors sharp. Take them to a professional. Also, make sure you have bought really good, and that means expensive, quality scissors, and take them to somebody who knows what they're doing. I had to get my really good LDH scissors sharpened. Why? Because I cut paper with them. And they're really good scissors. And I asked Shirley at Ultimate Sewing, I wondered if Shirley would do them. She doesn't do it, but she recommended a guy in the same town my sister lives in. And I called him up and he did them, and he did them right. He did a good job on those scissors. He even said,
yeah, I know, you can tell when I have a pair of those LDH scissors, and it just, when it cuts through fabric, it's just like it's nothing, like it's cutting through nothing,
like it's butter, and that's the way it should be. But I have tried those other methods over the years with sandpaper and tinfoil. No, they just wreck your scissors. And buying electric knife sharpeners, used to be able to get, or on can openers, used to have a scissor sharpening feature. Don't even sharpen your knives with one of those things. No, if you've got really good knives like that you use in your kitchen, don't sharpen them on one of those devices. You're just grinding the metal, because it's not just a question of sharpening. I watched some videos about this. There is a technique. It has to do with the angle. And when these professionals that sharpen scissors, they don't necessarily use a machine per se, not like one of those can opener or electric knife sharpeners. They actually use a tool, like, I want to say like a file almost, but they know what angle to go along the blade, because that's their business. And so they know the proper way to do it. If you get somebody that tries to sharpen your scissors that doesn't know what they're doing, they're going to ruin them for sure. So
yeah, Adam, it's leaves. I have
No,
doing
you
a
don't.
second one in black and white, which is the same material. I mean, I match my pockets so that
yeah, Walter's very proud of his invisible pockets. Yes, Marilyn, I have a small pair of Kai scissors too, and they are great. They are wonderful. I love Kai scissors too. And Fidel says, what's a good brand of scissors? Well, Kai. And a Canadian company called LDH. They make really good scissors as well. I've been very pleased with them. Very good customer service. They ship them out to you very fast. And they have a section that they call seconds. And they are scissors that there's nothing wrong with them. That was just the finish on them. There might be a tiny little scratch somewhere on the finish, not on the blades. And you can get them for like $20 less than often that. And that's what my scissors were from them. Both pairs. I bought 2 pairs from them, and I saved some money. And there's nothing wrong with them. They work perfectly fine. I couldn't even find the little mark that they were talking about that was on the finish of the handle or something like that. So yeah, I'm very pleased with that company. They're out of Toronto, but they have a website. You just look them up, LDH scissors. You'll find them. Billy says there are different kinds of blades too, is the reason you need a professional. My husband used to always sharpen mine. Sure missing him. Yeah, well, there's shear blades, and then there's and you can get serrated blades and things like that. So again, when you get into the different kinds of blades, you got to know what you're doing. Laura says she uses a sharpening stone to sharpen scissor knives. You're right. It's all in the angle and direction you sharpen things. Yeah. So, if you know how to do it,
yeah.
I guess I don't. And Jeannie recommends LDH scissors too, because she bought some as well. And Whitley Taylor shears, yeah. And I had a pair of gingham ones that are German that were very expensive scissors. I still have them, but actually I think they're the ones though that I think I cut paper with, and they don't cut fabric well anymore. That's how I knew about that. But anyway,
it's Gingher.
Gingher
or Ginger.
I don't know.
Ginger.
Whatever. So the other thing that happened this week is, I never drive my car. It gets out of the garage once a month to go 5 kilometers to get my hair cut and back home. And Walter's always saying we should take that car out, keep the battery charged up because the battery drains. And then Walter has to put the battery charger on it so we can turn over the engine. Well, the batteries finally had it. It wouldn't hold the charge anymore. So we have CAA memberships. So I called them up. Never used them before. And they have a battery service. Well, I'm telling you, talk about customer service. I am impressed. I called their number. They had a menu system. And I went, oh yeah, here we go. Went to the menu system. It was very clear. Pushed the button for the battery service. I got an automated voice attendant. Asked me some basic questions about, make of my car, the year of my car, my phone number, my address. And then it said, there will be a service person to you by 2:04 p.m. I called at 1:45 p.m. And they will call you 5 minutes before they're to arrive to your place. And you will get text messages keeping you updated on their status of arrival. And I went, sure, this will never happen. It did. I was getting text messages. I got one text message that says, your service person is 11 minutes away. They will call you in when they're 5 minutes away. 5 minutes away, they called me. We'll be there in less than 5 minutes. They were here bang on at 2:04. I don't know how they did that. That is incredible. Two guys, they had the new battery in my car within 10 minutes. Lickety split. And they gave us some good advice because they were asking me, how often do you drive it? And I told them and that. And they said, okay, even though your car is turned off, there's still trickle battery power going through it for the electronic devices and stuff, which I knew that as well. He recommended getting this thing called a battery tender, which apparently is a battery charger, but also you can leave, if you're not going to drive your car for long periods of time, you leave it plugged into your battery and it keeps your battery fully charged and it trickles into it. And apparently it also extends the life of your battery as well. So it's meant for, you know, people who drive their car once every blue moon to keep everything up. Because he said the guarantee that CAA has on their batteries is void if they consider the battery to be abused. And one of the things that's under their abuse is if you let your car sit for long periods of time and not, you know, drive it in that, because the battery will run down from that and get to the point where you can't charge it again. So that was pretty good. I liked that service. Too bad you couldn't get a service like that when you need an oil change. Just boom, boom. No, that would be perfect.
Yeah, Jeannie asked about what CAA was. It's Canadian Automobile Association.
It's like AAA in the States.
Yeah.
Not Alcoholics Anonymous, but, you know, the car place, the American Auto Association. This is the Canadian Auto Association. Yeah. So I was really thrilled with that. It's worth the 200 and some odd bucks we pay a year for service. So anyways, that's about all that's been happening this week. What's coming up? We have anything exciting coming up?
No.
Well, I'm going to finish that quilt this week. Another one of my Christmas projects. And Walter will probably work on shirts, maybe his shorts. I don't know.
Yeah.
When's the next time you have a class with Brendan?
No, I don't know yet.
Oh.
His daughter got married yesterday.
Yeah. Oh, it was yesterday. Yeah. So anyways, International Stitch Marathon is coming Friday, starting at 11 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. See you there if you're coming or not to it. And yeah, have a great week.
Yeah,
and
have a good week.
We'll talk to you all. And Adam, just before I go, did you get my email with my more detailed thing about the retreat and everything? Well, you don't have to answer me here. Anyways, okay. See everybody next week. Talk to you later. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.